Well, thank you all for joining us. I've wanted to get Kara on here for quite some time, but you know how things work out. There's always the right time. And I think that right time is now, with the school season just getting underway, which means learning and goals and healthy snack Friday and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so Kara is has been one of my best friends for numerous years now. I think I said this at the top, but the founder of the 100 Mile Club, a special educator back in the day, and once again. So yeah, anything else you'd like to add to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so hi, you guys. I am Kara Lubin. I'm the founder of the 100 Mile Club. I founded the 100 Mile Club 30 years ago this year, so we're celebrating our 30th anniversary. I was a teacher for 18 years, and the 100 Mile Club sort of blew up about 15 years ago. I don't know. There's a lot of math. I don't think I did the math right. But I stepped away from teaching in 2009 to grow and scale the 100 Mile Club, which I did very successfully. And I returned to where my heart lives, which is teaching in a classroom with beautiful children. I did that in 2020 during the pandemic. It was such a challenge, and I couldn't look away. So I took a class in 2020, and here I am. So I'm still the founder of the 100 Mile Club, but I am teaching during the day, which is why it's so hard for us to get together to do this now.
It is. But where there's a will, there's a way. Here we go.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I mean, just getting starting it off. What is the 100 Mile Club?
So the 100 Mile Club is a fitness and life skills organization, and it's based in the very simple goal of running or walking 100 miles over the course of a school year. Our kids run, walk, jog. We have students with disabilities who use their wheelchairs. We have students in walkers who simply do their best to put as many feet in front of the other as they can. And everybody shares a similar goal, which is 100 miles. It was a very simple thing that I started in 1992, and it has grown from there. But really, the mission remains the same, which is to help our kids become healthier, happier, and more connected through the shared goal of running or walking 100 miles over the course of a school year. Currently, we're serving about 4,000 schools. We serve schools in all 50 states. We serve schools in Mexico, which brings us to another little adventure that I have with Ryan every year. And it's doing great, but it is a very simple concept that has very, very profound results. When you ask a child to run 100 miles, that is something that they cannot do.
Yeah, it's just
they can't do it with someone doing it for them. They have to do their miles by themselves. It's something they alone can only do, although everyone else around them is doing it as well. So it becomes this individual effort within a team spirit, and it's very profound.
It's funny because I think especially as a kid, just the numeric value of 100 seems so large.
Yeah.
And I've seen kids like, what? But then I think one of the amazing things and one of the aspects of the program that I like and relate to is when you break that down for the kids and slowly they do a little bit every day with their friends or with their community, with their parents, with their friends and family, it slowly starts to add up. And it's that power of, well, wait, I did 100 and you've got kids who have done how many?
The most that I've ever documented, witnessed, seen is just over 1,400 miles in a year. And it was a 9-year-old girl. If you look on my Instagram channel, on the 100 Mile Club Instagram, you'll see she made like a little speech about how many miles she ran that year, and it was incredible. But if we can get kids to log 100 miles in a year, that's what we look for. Those kids that go above and beyond. I had kids in here today that were like, my goal is 350. My goal is 400. I want to do, You know, I want to do 600. I want to do 1,000. I've had probably 10 or 12 kids do 1,000 miles in a year, documented, witnessed. You know, this is not, they don't go run on their own with their parents. This is documented at run groups, documented at school, and witnessed by a coach that's trained.
It's a lot of popsicle sticks.
It's a lot of popsicle sticks. Yeah. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
Just inside joke, but yeah, in some communities, you run a mile and the kids get a popsicle stick. So they
right, every lap is a popsicle stick. So if you have a 5-lap mile, these kids are running around with like, you know, their parents make them little pouches and they hold on to them. But for some kids, that's their success.
It's a tangible thing. Yeah.
They're holding their success in the palm of their hand. It's very, very profound. It's life-changing. It is truly life-changing for many of our students. It's something that for some of our kids, it's the first time they've ever done something on their own.
Yeah.
Without,
what does it take for somebody for a kid, from the organization perspective, what does it take in order to help a kid have success for the school year?
Consistency. So what you need at school is you need a coach, and a coach doesn't have to be anybody special. It can be a person who cares enough to show up to allow them to get their miles in. So you need a caring adult. You need someone willing to show up and let them run or walk. It can be a classroom teacher. A teacher can do it with their own class or can be the coach for the entire school. I am the founder. I'm the spokesperson for 100 Mile Club, but I'm also the coach here at this school where I teach. And I coach 578 kids.
Wow.
And so I work with them, and then I work with their teachers to help them achieve their goals.
Sure.
So it's nice to have that network as well. They know the expectation. It really kind of cooks down to about 3 miles a week. If a teacher wants to participate in 100 Mile Club, they can sign up. It is absolutely free to sign up. The incentives are really, when we talk about cost and we talk about, you know, sponsorships for a student, it's really for the incentives. But you can do 100 Mile Club without those incentives. So if you're a teacher in a place and you don't think that you can do that this year, you can do this. You can go through this exercise as part of the organization without spending a dime. Everything is online.
Wow.
Everything, you can register and do it completely free. You know, the incentives are really what they work. You know, you're running. You're running 100 miles, you're earning a gold medal, you're earning your shirt at 25 miles. I have the shirt, by the way, because I have kids.
Is 25 miles, would that be the first benchmark?
Right. So you sign up for 100 Mile Club and you earn your first incentive at 25 miles. I actually have 6 kids today that have earned their 25. So I have 4 of them that showed up, and then I have 2 that are literally standing outside the door right now waiting for me because I have their shirt. So I do have their shirt. So this is the shirt. They earn this shirt at 25 miles. It doesn't look as green on the video, but it's kind of a Kelly green. This is our 30th anniversary. So you can see it's gold and it has a big 30, but on the back is where my soul lives. I love this. So this is something that I put together back in 1992. And what we do with this is we check their boxes as they achieve their milestones. And it gives them an opportunity to kind of like brag a little bit because they have their miles on their back. So even if they're shy and you ask them how many miles they have, they'll kind of do that. And they'll show you. And it's a very cool way to sort of see where a child is on their journey. And in communities that have a really high 100 Mile Club population, which is like every school's participating, you'll see kids in shirts all over town. And adults know it. They know that these kids are on their journey. So they're able to, like, for example, at the grocery store, you might have a kid in a shirt and an adult like you knows the program. So you're like, oh my gosh, you're in 100 Mile Club. That is so cool. How many miles do you have? And then they're like, you know, they show their back, or they'll say, oh, I'm at 63 or I'm at 57 or whatever. And it's neat because they keep them. They keep them until they're adults. And because I've been doing this for 30 years now, I know that there are adults, you know, in their late 30s now who have this shirt and they still have it. They keep it in a little box and they're like, I have my medals, I have my shirts, I'm never going to get rid of them. Sometimes their parents make them into pillows or blankets. Like, it's a big deal. They work hard for these incentives and they don't give them up. And so at the end of the year, when we do our medal ceremony, they earn a gold medal if they reach 100 miles. And this is their little gold medal. It has our logo on it. Oh, where's my camera? There it is.
Mhm.
Has our logo on it. And then on the back, it has some cute little words, and it says, I ran 100 miles. It's really hard to see, but you can go on the website and see it.
Yeah.
They'll wear their medals from previous years. So I have kids at the end of 6th grade who are wearing like kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So they look like Michael Phelps. Like they've got this whole, and they come up and they're getting their 6th or 7th medal for the year. And so if you can leave elementary school with 7 gold medals, I mean, where are you going to go from
Cool is that? Yeah.
Right? Oh, it happens a lot, and it's really, really cool. And
Yeah.
that's a pride point for some kids. They're like, I made my 100 every single year in elementary school, starting in kinder, all the way to 6th grade, and then they'll come, and it's just like, oh, and it's life changing. I mean, some of our kids run track. Some of them, I think, at one middle school in Temecula, we have, last count was over 50 full ride university scholarships for track and cross country coming out of this middle school directly because of 100 Mile Club.
Wow.
And I'm sure that number is higher because I haven't talked to him in a couple of years about it.
Yeah, but it just speaks to that idea of it. Like it all just starts with an idea.
It starts with this idea
into a kid's head, and suddenly it can balloon. Yeah.
I'm an athlete now. I run now. I'm strong. I'm smart. I can do this. And it's a big, big deal. I have 2 kids. I have one student in my class this year. He has lost 55 pounds. And his brother lost 49 pounds last year. And it just shows that once you get your body moving, you start to make healthier food choices. You start to care about how your body feels. Like if you've never felt good, healthy, once you feel it, you're not going to want to go back. Because if you've never,
and that's the thing. It's like you're taking it out of. I mean, for one, you're not a parental figure. You've got some authority in their life, but you make it. The program's fun and engaging, and you make it, you're not going on a diet, but we're just going to do this and like build that momentum towards a healthy lifestyle where
right. And if they come to run group in the morning, if they come to run group in the morning and they've eaten Takis and 7-Up for breakfast, they're going to not feel real good.
Right.
And that happens once. And I'll say, my goodness, what did you have for breakfast this morning? I had Takis and 7-Up. I'm like, well, how about not do that again? How about let's talk about
kind of good.
How about No. But let's talk about peanut butter on toast. Let's talk about maybe an orange, and you know what I mean? Like you start to have those conversations in a very authentic way versus like, this is healthy, this is not. Like it's much more authentic.
Sure.
If that makes any sense.
Absolutely does.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those who are watching and who want to jump in and help out with the program, how can they do that?
So I every year do a fundraiser, and every year I raise the bar, which drives me crazy, but we meet our goal every year. We have to. So if you would like to sponsor a student, you can jump on. Rye, are you going to put the link on, or do I just?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, so the link is GoFundMe.com/800kids. That's the link. It's so easy. GoFundMe.com/800kids. And those funds go directly to the 100 Mile Club organization, and they are earmarked for students at the school where I teach and at some schools around our community, and then a couple of schools outside of our state. So our goal is to sponsor 800 kids. I have about 578 here. And then the rest we're going to allocate around the country. So if you're a teacher or someone who wants to sponsor a class in rural Wyoming and you would like to make a donation, I'm just making this up. You would like to make a donation, you can say, hey, Kara, you could literally call me and go, hey, Kara, I just donated blah, 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 blah. I'd like to sponsor some kids at my school in Jackson, Wyoming. Great.
That's awesome. Approximately if somebody were to break it down, how much does it cost to sponsor one kid for the school year?
It used for 29 years, it cost $10.
Wow.
For 29 years. Last year.
With inflation.
Well, yeah, right. And we fought it for a really long time, but we did have to increase prices.
Right.
Everything costs more. So there were tears, put it that way, about having to do this. So now it's $15 per year per child to pay for all the incentives. So they get their shirt, they get their pencil at 50 miles, they get their wristband at 75, they get a little dog tag, they get their gold medal at 100 miles, which is, this is last year's gold medal. They get a sticker. There is a certificate that they receive at the end of the year that has their total miles on it. All of this is $15 per child per year, which I still think is a phenomenal cost for the experience and the life change that these kids are going through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think, yeah. So that's it. It's easy. You can reach out, you can find Rye, you can ask Ryan about it. You can ask me about it. Find me on Instagram, find me on TikTok, Facebook, whatever. And reach out and ask me questions, and I will refer you to whoever needs to talk to you to make this happen at your school. And if you want to sponsor your wife's, I'm just making this up again, your wife's best friend's class, and she happens to teach second grade in, Kentucky, I will help you do that. Absolutely.
So awesome. Yeah.
Do it.
So we'll put the link in the description here of the video. And that's incredible. I mean, yeah, I want to say it's a deal, like $15 to change a kid's life. Like,
yeah. I mean, even as the founder, even as the person that owns the trademarks, like the whole thing, I still pay the organization for these incentives. I don't take liberties. This is a full-fledged nonprofit organization that functions based on donations. And that's where we're at. So the more help we get, the more kids we can serve.
Awesome. All right. Well, yeah, we're going to throw that link up there, and yeah, throw some pictures and whatnot of some kids getting in some miles and earning their t-shirts and whatnot. And we'll go from there. Well, thank you.
Are they outside, Veronica?
For joining us. Yeah, I know the kids are off on recess and they're banging the door wanting to get in.
They're going to be reading buddies in K2.
Oh, we have time. They're going to be reading buddies in K2. Did you tell her I'm doing an interview?
No, she just said I'm going to take them. I said, okay.
Did she just took our kids?
Yeah, all of them.
Okay, first of all, this is a super side note.
I'm going to go though.
Will you go? Yeah. I'll be right over in a little bit. Thank you. The class that I'm teaching right now is, and I've been teaching for 30 years. Not only have I been teaching for 30 years, this is actually being my 31st year, because I started 100 Mile Club my second year teaching. Okay. And then I spent 12 years traveling all over the United States, visiting schools, starting clubs.
Wait. What? Tell us how, like, in that second year, how did it come about?
How did it start? So I taught a non-categorical special day class at the time. And a non-categorical special day class means, especially in 1992, it meant anybody that teachers didn't want to deal with. Perhaps they had behavior problems. This is a long time ago. It's very different now. Like, people are much more accepting of students with learning differences. It's such a different world now, which is so great. But at the time, it was any child who people didn't really know what to do with, right? These were kids with learning disabilities, behavior disorders, ADHD, autism, although it really wasn't called that at the time. I mean, it was just these kids who just didn't fit anywhere. And everything that they did, they struggled in. I mean, can you imagine coming to school every day and not knowing how to put your name on your paper? Not knowing how to do anything, like come to work and just, you're failing at everything every day. These kids were defeated. So I needed a hook, if that makes any sense. Like, I needed a hook for these kids. And so when I did that, I had to think about what they were good at. And this was a very active group of kids. They were very active and a little naughty, not gonna lie. Very active. And I was like, oh my gosh. And we had just come off an Olympic year. So I'm like, okay, what can I have these kids do that they would be really good at? And the Olympics had just ended, and I love the Olympics. I love everything about the Olympics. And I was like, oh my God, I want them to earn a gold medal, but what can they do? What can I make them do? What can I have them do that they can earn a gold medal for? And I was like, oh, they can run. Like they can run, like they're fast, they're quick, they're, you know, these kids are sharp. If they were anything, they were athletic, but they didn't know what to do with it. So they were just all over the place. So I literally took them outside and I did a little math and I was like, you know what? If they run 3 miles a week, they can run 100 miles in a year. And 100 is a really, really important number in elementary school. Even in kindergarten, you start learning how to count to 100. I mean, everything is base 100, right? Fractions, decimals, percentages, kindergarten counting to 100. It's all about 100 in elementary school. So I was like, oh my God, we can run 100 miles. Okay. So I was like 22 years old or something. I go outside and I'm like, okay, you guys, you're going to run 100 miles this year. We're going to start today. And they were like, we're going to what? No, we're not. And I was like, oh, but you are. And I ran them. We ran our first mile together. And I came back in and I said, good job. And I literally put like a little X on this chart. And I was like, we're going to do it again tomorrow.
Wow.
We're going to do it again tomorrow. And I kid you not, they were like, we just have to do it a few more. Can we keep going? And I said, yes. And so it was just like tick, 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 tick. And it was this success point that they hooked into. It was like, I just ran a mile. And when I run a mile, I can check this box. And when I do this 25 times, I earn this shirt. And I mean, I was making stuff up. I was like, I'm going to make you a shirt. It's going to be awesome. And I'm thinking to myself,
what am I doing?
I'm thinking to myself, where am I going to get shirts? Like, what am I doing? Like, shut up. Like, stop promising these kids things. And I'm like, and you're going to get a gold medal and it's going to be brilliant. Right. And I'm thinking, where am I going to get gold medals? I had no idea, but I knew I had till the end of the year to figure it out. So I was like, I got this. And you know me, I do things all the time. I'm like, oh, we got to do what? Let's just do it. We'll figure it out later. And that's exactly what I did. So I went to this store, and if you're in Southern California, you might remember, called not Urban Outfitters. That's now Miller's Outpost.
Oh yeah.
Remember Miller's Outpost?
Yeah.
I feel like they sold Vans, T-shirts, and bandanas, and Levi's. That was it.
Yeah, it was like the skater-ish kind of wannabe mall.
Totally, like skater, whatever. And they.
I lost you again.
And
are you back?
I bought shirts. Yeah,
okay.
I'm back. Yeah. So I bought shirts and I puffy painted them, Ryan. I literally puffy painted them. And then I puffy painted them. And then sometimes I'd put them in the microwave to dry them because it was like, I didn't think it was the dumbest thing. And then once I realized I could get them printed, then I started getting them printed. And then people asked me what I was doing. And then it was like, and that's when it started to go big. But these kids, what I realized is that not just my kids needed this.
Sure.
Not just these kids that were struggling needed this. All kids need this. All kids need this. All adults need this. I mean, really, let's be honest, right? It's about setting a goal and achieving it. And if you can set your mind into a place where you're setting a goal and you're making it happen on your own, with the support of people around you, but really on your own, just like a 100-mile race, right? You know that better than anybody. Nobody can do it for you, but they can do it with you.
Yeah, they can certainly help. Yeah.
Right. Just like when I crew you, whatever. What do you need next time? How can I help you? But when the rubber meets the road, it's you.
Yeah. The decision is, do I want to do this or not? Right.
And if the answer is yes, I will help you. And
sometimes it's I want to do it, but I'm not going to, or how do I fight through that? And yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it's the same exact mindset for these kids. So when you talk about a 100-mile race, when you talk about an ultra marathon that you do, or, you know, that people do, it's the same. These kids go through the same emotional roller coasters that you do, although it takes the whole year. So they get to mile about 77, 78. And they're like, why am I doing this? This is hard. I don't want to do this anymore. I could just stop right now. But the end is so close and they've come so far. Now it's time to dig deep. Yep. And they go through that same emotional, I have to keep going. And then they get to the finish line and they cross their 100, and some of them just bawl because they've never, I'm going to get emotional. They've never done anything like that before.
Yeah.
And then once you find that success, you can seek it elsewhere.
Totally.
Once you find out how strong you are, you dig deep elsewhere, right? You find a problem in your life and you're like, well, I ran 100 miles when I was 10, so this is not a problem. You
Got
know?
this. Yeah.
I've got this.
Yeah.
So we're teaching kids to dig deep.
Give some perspective. For
Yeah.
Sure.
And that's why we want to, circling back to sponsorships, sponsor as many kids as possible. My goal is 800 kids this year.
We don't have to stop with 800.
I don't have to stop with 800,
That's
right?
the fun of it. Right.
But that's my success point. Just like 100 miles is theirs. 800 kids this year is my success point. I'm not going to stop till I sponsor 800 kids. You know, I think right now we've sponsored about 300, a little over 300. So we've got a ways to go. And
Yeah.
I need help. I can't sponsor these kids all on my own. And, you know, we have some great little incentives. If you know, you guys probably don't know, but my mom makes these quilts out of old vintage 100 Mile Club shirts. So my top donor gets that quilt. I already have it. I didn't bring it today, but I should have. So I have a quilt for my top donor. I have sunglasses from Gooder for people who choose to sponsor 10 kids or more. I have, you know, I do a drawing every Friday for people who have donated X number of dollars and above. I mean, it's all on the website. So if you go in, you can click and see all these cool little goofy things that I'm doing to sort of encourage people to really do what they could do. I mean, what other organization where you drop $15 and you're literally changing a life?
Yeah,
literally change. This is not like you're going to get, if you sponsor a kid, you're going to get a handwritten letter from one of these 100 Mile Club kids. And they're going to write you a letter and draw you a picture, and it's going to be the cutest thing you've ever saw. Because they are truly grateful. They're truly grateful. And what they're doing it for the people around them that are supporting them. They don't want to let down the people that are sponsoring them. And it's just this cool vibe. Like we're all doing this together, and we're making sure that our kids are resilient and strong and able to set goals and able to be physically active and physically fit and making good food choices and making, you know, good physical activity. I mean, it's 105 degrees or something here right now. But did we run today? No, we didn't go outside because it was too hot. But what we did do is we did a 15-minute HIIT workout, and we worked on our abs, right? We were sweating. And I told him, I said, that's 0.2, 0.4. I'm counting it at 0.6 miles, which is, you know, I'm being a little hard on him. But if you're going to do a HIIT workout inside, you know, some of you guys probably weren't given 100%. I'll give you 3 laps for it. Nice. And that's what we did today. So we don't.
It's still building that. Yeah.
Right. It's not like we're going to quit, but we do it with intention. I'm like, every 5 minutes that you do this HIIT workout counts as a 0.2 mile lap. And they're like, okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
And my little boy that lost 55 pounds, he's not here today, or I would bring him in because his mom's really cool. I'd be like, yeah, come over here, Matt, and talk to me. He lost 55 pounds. And my kids have to all set goals every year, right? Everybody in the school does. And my kids now are like, well, I'm not going to set a goal to run 100 miles. I know I'm going to run 100 miles. Wow. But his goal was, I would like a 6-pack. I would like 6-pack abs. I was like, dude, you're 10. I don't even know if that's possible.
I was going to say, like,
I'm not sure.
But yeah, you're
10. but that's what he wants to work for. And even if he gets just the 2 lines on the side, right? That's where we're at, you know. And this is a child who literally lost fit. He was a 9-year-old when he started getting himself like, you know, fit, and he's like 55 pounds, Miss Lubin.
Good for him.
Like, Matt, you're awesome. And so these kids they take it very seriously, and I love it because they grow up and they grow through it, and then they come back and run with the littles. It's just genius. It's good stuff. It
is awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, yeah.
No, how did I meet you, Ryan?
Oh, wow. We're going to go down that road.
Just for a second.
Because it's all connected, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where on my journey should I pick up? Well, yeah, one night I literally had a dream that I ran across the state of California, woke up, told a friend about this. The friend was, well, you should see who's done that. So I jump online and I came across a team that was being put together to run from Huntington Beach to Washington, D.C. And I thought, oh, that's too much. But they were looking for runners to come and do each state with them along the way. So I'm like, okay, well, there's my run across California. Oh, but wait, what's this? It's to raise money for this thing called the 100 Mile Club. So I was like, okay, well, I want to run across California and I should really see what this is all about. So yeah, I remember I picked up the phone and I called the number on the website, and I don't think I got you, but somebody connected me to you. We chatted. You said, come on down for lunch. We got lunch a couple weeks later, and that's how we met.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's how we were fast friends. We were fast friends. And I think it goes back to that spirit of you just signed up and you were going to figure it out. Right?
Yes. A little, like PS to that story. Once I finished the run across California and got to Arizona, to that spirit of, well, wait, I just did that. Why can't I go to DC? That literally was my thought.
Right.
And yeah, I just hadn't scheduled for it, but I knew like, oh, this is awesome. Like I could keep going.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the same spirit we teach our kids. I've done 25 miles. Why can't I do 50? Why can't I do 75? Why can't I do 100? Yeah. Why can't I do 1,000? Right. Yeah. And so, yeah, but I mean, your spirit is very much like mine, in which, you know, you want to do a thing and then you see the end point and then you have to figure out a way to get there. Like when we get together, we do some crazy stuff because we're like, yeah, let's do it. And then we're like, oh, okay.
Okay, what are we doing? Well,
what are we doing? Cuba, walking down some random street, going, "What? How did we get here?"
Yeah,
but it's good, you know. And that's why I love you.
Oh, right back at you.
Because we can do. You're a can-do guy, and I love that.
We have done plenty of things.
Of shenanigans.
There's more to come for sure. Not that I have things in mind, but yes.
Yes, you do. Yeah, because he's like, want to do it? I'm like, sure.
Yeah, why not?
Sure, why not? Let's do it. Anyway.
All right, well, I'm gonna let you go because we're coming up on the hour, and it's probably like.
I have to go find my kids.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't tell you. That was what I was going through. I was saying I taught for 30 years, and then you were like, how did 100 Mile Club start?
Oh.
But I have to go back to tell you that I have taught for 30 years. I have taught in, you know, almost every state. I've done presentations. I've worked with kids in every state in this country. And I can tell you right now, the class I am teaching right now is hands down the happiest, cutest group of kids I've ever taught in my life.
That's awesome.
Happiest, cutest group of kids I've ever taught in my life. They are, I can't stand it. They're just, I love coming to work every day because they are so happy. Nice. And they work so hard. And case in point, some teacher just literally took my class. And my assistant was like, I said, where are my kids? And she said, oh, so-and-so just took them. They're going to kindergarten to read to some kids. And I was like, okay. So I could talk to Ryan longer. It's great.
Well, thank you for it.
So that was what I was going to tell you. And they're on their journey.
Wow.
And they're just ridiculously cute.
And so I will be there soon to meet them.
They're super excited.
Awesome.
Some of them are going to cry. All right.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to put information in the description here, and please donate, everybody. You all have been so good in the past, and I have no doubt that we're going to keep it going. So I will talk to you later, Kara. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll talk to you later. Love you. Thank you, everyone. If you're watching, thank you. And even if you're considering donating, thank you. We need it.
Yes.
So thank you.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Bye.